December 5th, 2024, Degenerates Unite Weekly. Hello, everybody. I am Jack's favorite podcast host. It's me, DJ Smearman. I'm joined by Tyler Durden himself. It's Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy?
How's it going?
There's a little secret over here at Degenerates Unite Weekly is we like manly movies. You got Predator out there. You got...
Commando. Rocky.
Marked for Death. You got...
Shout out T-Mac.
Under Siege.
Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
The movie we like the most, that seems to be most manly to us, that we truly love, is Fight Club. 1999, directed by David Fincher, starring Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. Are you kidding me?
It's got like the two most masculine things I can think of, which is like a lot of guys living together and fighting, and then also making artisan soap.
Absolutely. You know, the themes of masculinity and identity, you know, are very important in this movie, you know?
Yeah. And I think it does really showcase the brotherhood of male bonding.
Yeah. The rebellion against social norms. We don't need that. Fuck you, society.
And can we talk about all these, like, how cut these guys are?
Oh, my God.
They got muscles, dude. Like 0% body fat.
Those penis lines, that V right under the hip.
Cum gutters.
Like, I just want to hit the gym after watching this movie. So, you know, so we're going to dedicate this movie and, the next portion of our lives probably to the great film Fight Club.
Yeah, this is going to be like my Fight Club decade coming up.
And Jeremy, before we get into the rest of the show, how about you lead us off here with a little bit of a Geller Bowl recap?
Oh, yes, of course. A very special one this year. We ended up with 15 competitors, our highest level yet. Unfortunately, our newcomer to the league, who was the first to pay about 5 minutes after I posted the link, never said his lineup.
Yeah, shout out Stathy for being technologically inept and not knowing how to do anything.
I guess he was trying to set his lineup on like his touch tone cordless phone from his kitchen, and he couldn't get it to work.
Maybe somebody was like on the internet, so like there was some interference with that dial-up or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, so this year I had no one's won it twice, which is great. This year we had Amy, last year's champion, is now this year's Geller Bowl champion. So it's been a big year for her. I'm assuming those are the two events in the last year she's most proud of, but I can't speak to that. I mean, I think we all assume that. So congratulations to Amy. And next year we'll try to make it, even bigger and better.
Absolutely. And yeah, she just had to slightly sell her soul because she took like a bunch of Bears players.
Yeah, I mean, that was a cold, calculated move on her part, and it paid out.
Yeah, absolutely. All those years of the Lions torturing her prepared her for this exact moment. So shout out to them for doing that.
Yeah, I think really the only way that her year can get any better is if we see those Lions posting up that Lombardi.
I think that would make a lot of people's year, to be honest.
I'd root for that. I'd rather them win than like the Browns.
Yeah, for sure. Browns don't deserve any happiness for at least another 5 years. They're going to need to suffer a little bit longer.
Yep.
And Jeremy, real quick, you're on webcam here. You have a new look here. You got slick back hair. You're wearing a wife beater. You got the cross around your neck. What's up with the new look? Is this something you're trying out?
Oh, thanks for the tip, by the way. Yeah, I mean, that's really kind of who I am, really. I'm sick of wearing my monkey suit and, just like everyone else, standing in line at the bank. I'm just going to be me from now on, and this is who I am. I'm a slick back muscle shirt wearing, cigarette smoking hunk of man. So if you got a problem with that, it's katana fast, huh?
All right. Hey, I got no problem with that. But yeah, we are 13 weeks into the season. 2 more regular season weeks to go. We're going into week 14, and we might as well go into the Bro Down Showdown.
Bro Down Showdown. What a scene. fantasy football frenzy, living the dream.
And yeah, that's right. We're bringing back the Bro Down Showdown because we watched Fight Club, and we're not about pussy shit anymore.
The only pussy I'm after is for eating and fucking.
And I'll jump into my game, and that's Riddler on the Roof beating I'm number one, 126 to 102. And yeah, this was a good performance by me, 125 points. Josh Jacobs, Bijan Robinson, Cortland Sutton, and even the defense and the kicker did really well. My last second decision here, bench DK Metcalf for Brian Thomas Jr. and 8 extra points. It all paid off, so I'll take that. On the other side, Nick's team currently on a 6-game losing streak. Love to see it. He's still changing his name, so he's active. James Cook did good. Kyler Murray did okay. Brian Robinson Jr. got in the end zone like early in the first quarter, so you thought he was going to have a whopper, but he teetered out with 17. And, Christian McCaffrey, absolute loser, scumbag, piece of shit, number 1 draft pick of the year. Nick didn't have the number 1 draft pick. He traded for McCaffrey and for Jordan Mason, both of which went on IR simultaneously. Yep. So yeah, Nick is plummeting. He's looking for that last place finish. He's really gunning for it, and with the way he's been playing, it's very possible.
I mean, I guess you could say I won that trade, but we're both like not good, so it didn't really matter.
I mean, holding on to this guy for as long, and then he comes back, and you're like, okay, it's go time week 10, and he puts up 5. Yep. It's go time week 11, he puts up whatever, and then this bullshit, 7.7 points, and then he's done for the season. Unbelievable scumbaggery for getting injured.
Honestly, I was kind of surprised that he even had him play.
Yeah, I mean, I guess your season's still alive because that division's tight over there, but
yeah.
God, what a nightmare season for the Niners. Anyone who had them penciled in for the Super Bowl, shame on you. Have you ever seen the NFL? Shame on you.
All right, next we'll get into my matchup. I'm just dead, I'm dust, beating Evan, more DJ, less bitchin', by about 30 points. My best performance to date. It's keeping me out of last place, which I'm very thankful for. I think the story of my team is really that Steelers-Bengals game where like vintage Russell Wilson had like close to 300 yards at halftime and finished with over 400 and 3 touchdowns. And then you look down at my defense. They gave up 38 points, but still managed to give me 15. So very grateful for that. Evan scored about 100 points. Luke McConkey, I think he had over 100 yards at halftime, and then finished with 117, no touchdowns. That was one of his big players, along with DJ Moore on Thanksgiving, 100 yards and a touchdown. So we're both kind of. I mean, Evan has a chance to be in last place, so that's something to keep an eye on. Might get to see what he looks like without that shirt on, jumping into the icy rivers of wherever the fuck he lives.
Yeah, I think he lives down in South or North Carolina where there is no cold ocean, from what I understand. So if you decide to polar plunge, I'm going to need you in like an ice bath or something like that. So
yeah, we need like a temperature reading.
Next, we will go into Vengeance in the Viking Den, beating Second Half Mayhem 104 to 95. And yeah, this was the matchup to watch last week. This was for the pole position of the wild card, the coveted 4th seed of the playoffs. And Stothy came out with the win here. Lamar Jackson got 25. He got like 8 or 9 of those points on that last drive too. A game that they were kind of out of at that point, but huge for him. Nick Chubb found the end zone. Montgomery got 14 points without a touchdown. And then Brock Bowers, everyone's favorite rookie tight end, absolutely putting on a clinic this year. Is he a number 1 draft pick next year? Not number 1, but first rounder?
He'll be the first tight end for sure.
Sure, yeah.
But I don't know. He doesn't have that X factor that Kelsey had when he was going in the first round, I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like you need to do it for like 2 or 3 years before you get into that first round as a tight end. Like Gronk, he was a first round guy, but it took him like 4 or 5 years to get up there. So
yeah.
And let's not forget Sam Laporta last year. Tight end 1 last year. First tight end off the board this year. And where the fuck is Sam Laporta?
No idea.
So yeah. On the other side, Second Half Mayhem, 95 points. Joe Burrow got 20. Only 20 while putting up 38 is not great. You kind of want more points, I guess.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors got 11. He hasn't scored a touchdown since like week 5 or week 6. And the rest of his team got single digits except for Dallas defense, who was a great start on Thanksgiving. And let me give a quick shout out to Tony Pollard. He had a great week for Jason last week, and he said, shout out Terry for trading me Tony Pollard. I'm going to give a shout out to Tony Pollard this week because he only got 7 points and you lost because of him. So if I get the shout out, I'm going to give it right back. Enjoy that, Tony Pollard L.
Yeah, I feel like Jason's team was kind of a victim of how the games went. Like, I think that Seattle and Minnesota were both got down pretty early, and Tennessee. So all of his running backs kind of got taken out of the game, essentially. Next, we have our Geller Bowl winner, Amy Nakua Matata, beating former first place Wilson. Is that true?
This is true. Yeah, McBride of Frankenstein has taken over the standings. Crazy.
So Amy had just like a pretty solid game, 120. No one went crazy. No one was scoring in the 20s. Just a pretty solid game top to bottom. She had Buffalo defense Sunday night getting 14, which was big. And T. Higgins with like a touchdown. Those are kind of like maybe the things that put her over the edge. And then you go look over at Ben's team, who's been on fire. Running backs really carrying the load for him, as they should. Mixon, 100 yards, touchdown, and Chase Brown with like 100 total yards and a touchdown. So he's still in pretty good shape. He's in the playoffs, but we'll see. This could be the beginning of the end for old Ben's.
That will take us over to Tyreek 40-yard dash cam losing to McBride of Frankenstein, 133 to 108. Another masterclass here by McBride of Frankenstein, 130 points. That's a tough number to beat. You had Josh Allen, who threw and scored a touchdown on the same play. He also had, the analysts have talked this to death. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. Yeah. But it was a pretty cool play.
It was cool.
Nico Collins got 16 points without getting a touchdown. Saquon got a touchdown with 18 points. Derrick Henry, 12. Jonas Smith and McBride combined for 30. The double tight end stack continues. And Chris Boswell, RB1, or I guess more like an RB2 this week with 16 points. Great numbers from AP. On the other side, Ian, showing a little bit of life. He's in last place right now. He's trying to, with 2 weeks to go, he's trying to claw his way out. Tyreek Hill finally got a touchdown on Thanksgiving. George Pickens got a touchdown, I think. Yeah. And Goddard also got a touchdown, but he got injured. And then Denver D did great things on Monday night against Cleveland. That was a crazy game, that Cleveland-Denver game. So, Ian's trying to fight for his life to not go in the ocean, but there's a lot of other losers in the league that are trying to match his level of loserism.
If we could just go back to, it's like we like to do this every once in a while. There's some interesting statistics out there. So Adam has basically the two best running backs in the league right now, Saquon and Derrick Henry, both of whom are on new teams. Mm-hmm. And if I want to throw in one of your running backs, Terry, Josh Jacobs, probably the 3 biggest running back moves, the teams that they left and then the teams that they're on, they have like inverse records right now if you were to add up all the teams.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of showing that, running backs, I think all this stuff in football goes in cycles, but it is going to be like we might see a resurgence of the running back.
As we should. They are, at least when it comes to fantasy football, they are one of the more exciting players to watch and stuff like that. They should get their dues.
Good to see. And then you got guys like Chuba Hubbard getting like mid-season contract extensions, which is like unheard of for that position. I really love it because, we got to see that when we were younger. Some of those.
Sean Alexander.
Yeah, Sean Alexander, Edgerrin James, freaking
Frank Gore,
Steven Jackson. Saquon's like on pace to beat the record for rushing yards.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
All right. That will take us over to the DUW SVU case of the week.
Case of the week, standing tall another week. Fantasy football, dreams of bonus taking defeat.
And his name was Robert Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson, and he's a fat, dead guy on the board, reminiscent of Marked for Death, losing to Dicker, I Barely Know Her, 148 to 115. Folks, that's a 33-point difference there. Not a huge one, but it's enough to be in the His Name is Robert Paulson case of the week. And starting with Dicker, I Barely Know Her, Patrick Mahomes got 16. Mike Evans got 21. He might have injured himself again, though. Jamar Chase, Kyron Williams, and Njoku, McLaurin. These are all guys who scored a lot of touchdowns, and they did really, really well. So 147 points. That's up there as a league high on the year. Very impressive from Ryan. He needed it to just kind of stay alive in that wild card spot. And very impressive. Jeremy, if you'd like to talk about Matt Quaid.
I'll talk about the loser, Tyler, yes. Jaden Daniels putting up almost 30 points. Pretty good. He had some good player performances. Najee Harris with 20. And then some guys getting touchdowns. Devontae Adams. And, yeah, it's just 115 points is a good game. Let's face it. It's just he wasn't good enough to win. Yeah, he did have some stinkers in there. Breece Hall, obviously 6 points. That's not going to get you that's your first round pick. That's not ideal. And then Chuba Hubbard, who's been on fire lately, only putting up 2 points. Yeah, he lost, and very likely that is what kept him out. Is going to keep him out of the wild card spot.
Do you want to publicly shout out the Breece Hall trade that you tried to attempt? Because he gave you a shout when he was playing really well, and then he puts up a 6-point stinker. Do you want to give that T-Mac anything real quick?
No, I'm the bigger man, so.
Fair enough. All right, that's going to do it for the DUW SVU. His name is Robert Paulson. Case of the week. Which will take us into the matchup to watch. And folks, we have a wild card special. So yeah, we're going to actually talk about 2 games this week, and that is Nakua Matata versus More DJ Less Bitchin' and McBride of Frankenstein taking on Vengeance in the Viking Den. And I'll talk about the McBride of Frankenstein versus Vengeance in the Viking Den. Big shout out to the most AI name/picture I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Stothy hitting it with the alliteration of the Vengeance in the Viking Den. Very impressive, but this pretty much just has a lot of wild card sticks in it. Stothy is playing the number 1 seed Adam. It's a pretty big bye week between these guys, both of them. No Lamar Jackson, no Derrick Henry. Right now the projections are dead even. So this week Stothy has to play Adam, and then next week Stothy has to play Wilson. Both pretty tough matchups.
I actually have a question about Stothy's team. What is the name he doesn't even have any Vikings.
It's a picture of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, with a gold chain.
He's playing at Minnesota.
Okay.
So I guess it's about that.
All right. Checks out. And next, the other wildcard special is Amy Nakua Matata taking on 11th place Evan, More DJ Less Bitchin'. Could be, Amy's got 2 of the worst teams to play in the rest of the regular season. It could be a cakewalk for her to get into the playoffs, but, sometimes when you're going up against these really shitty teams, they can surprise you. So she's got to be on her toes. She's got to set her lineup. Maybe start beefing up that bench she's got, making some moves down the stretch here.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Like, these last 2 weeks of the regular season are going to be electric. We highlighted these games, but Jason's still in there. Ryan's still in there. T-Mac even is in there. So there's still a lot of chances for these other guys to make it. But like you mentioned, Amy's got a cakewalk of a schedule here. I think it's her division to lose, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's going to do it for the wild card special matchup to watch, which will take us over to Jeremy's gambling table. I don't think you can smoke in here.
Γεια σας παιδιά, είμαστε εδώ στο Jeremy's Gambling Table. Είμαι ο Jeremyrthios. Θέλω να σε πω με χαρούμενα, πήγα 3-1 αυτό το προηγούμενο week.
Hey man, what are you doing? It's nice to see that you learn Greek and all, and you're almost as good as me because I'm bilingual too, but, you know, I just don't tell anyone because I'm modest. But I think this is getting out of hand.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're bi? What? Can I just continue?
Yeah, go for it.
Στην πρώτη παιχνίδι...
Jeremy, stop talking betting while speaking Greek. It's insensitive and offensive.
Williams είχε πολύ καλή second half. Μετά...
Jeremy, stop. Wait a second.
And I am handing over all duties to Jeremy.
Τα δύο αυτά τα teams δεν είναι και τόσο καλά. Μετά είχαμε τα Dolphins.
I drink extra thick coffee.
Εγώ πήγα τα Dolphins και χάσανε στα Packers. Ήτανε πολύ tough game, but καλά που ο Tuas δεν πήρε άλλο concussion.
Are you Yanni? Yeah, Yanni.
Και η Παρασκευή, on Black Friday, I win big με τα Raiders. Καλά που πήγαινε, I don't know.
Hispanico, Misaka, homemade tzatziki.
So τώρα για Week 14 picks θα πάρω τα Jets που παίρνουν...
Oh my god. I can't believe I didn't see this sooner. It wasn't the Greek analysts talking about sports betting on air. It was the on-air sports betting analysts who were turning Greek for being on-air sports betting analysts. Jeremy, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that this would happen.
Τα Panthers καλέ, ο Bryce Young, yeah. Θα παίρνουν και 12 points.
I know how to fix this. I saw it in a movie once. You have to shoot yourself in the face to get rid of your alter ego. God, what fucking movie was it? This is gonna bother me. Forrest Gump? That wasn't it. Oh, what was it? It was definitely 90s. 12 Monkeys? I don't think so. I feel like I'm getting a little bit closer, though. Whatever it was, this has to work. This has like a 50% chance of working. I kind of like those odds. Here, take this loaded 9 milli, put her in the mouth, and let her rip. Oh my God. Jeremy, oh my God, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Jeremy, you went 3-1 this past week. It's a miracle.
DJ Smear, man, you met me at a very strange time in my life.